Chapter 4. The Envido. What's the Envido? It's a situation that occurs within the game when you have two cards of the same suit. If this happens, you can sing Envido. There's a fundamental variant that you have to pay attention to. It depends on the value of your cards. If you have two cards that add up a high value, it is advisable to sing Envido. However, singing Envido is not an obligation. You can play the whole game without singing it. If you think the cards you have are not going to help you add points, you can avoid singing it. But also, if you have a hunch and you think you can win the Envido with few points, you can sing it. This hoping that the other person does not want the Envido, or otherwise that he will lose because he has few points. This is one of the reasons why the Envido is called the lie within the trick. You can talk about it without mentioning it using that word. Remember that once you have the cards in your hand, if you sing trick or Envido intentionally or casually, that call will be taken as valid. The Envido can only be sung in the first hand. If you don't sing it in the first hand, you won't be able to sing it later. Before continuing with the Envido process, I would like to show you how to count your cards. First, you have to notice if you have two cards of the same suit. If you have them, sum up their values and then add 20. Where does 20 come from? We don't know, but we play it like that. It's one of the mysteries of the trick. Here's an example. In case you have a 4 and a 6, it will sum up to 10. But to this 10, you have to add 20 points. So when it's your turn to call your points, you say you have 30 points. Here, I will highlight an exception. If you get a 10, an 11, or a 12, its value doesn't count. Then you only add the extra 20 points. For example, if you have a 1 and a 12, you sum up 1 and 12 and you get 1. Remember, the 12 is worth 0, so you're going to add 20 points to the 1. Therefore, you have 21. In case you don't have two cards of the same suit, but you still have to say your points, you have to call the value of your highest card without adding the extra 20 points. For example, if you have three cards of different suits and your highest card is a 7, your points are 7. In case you have a 10, an 11, or a 12, your points are 0. The maximum you can have is 33 that arises from the sum of a 7 and a 6 of the same suit, which add up to 13, and to which you add 20 points, so you have 33 points. The possible values of your cards are between 0 and 7 and 20 and 33. Let's continue with the process of the Envido. As in the trick, when someone sings Envido, you can accept, decline, or raise the bet. Before moving forward, let's talk about the three types of Envido that exist. The Envido is worth 2 points, the real Envido is worth 3 points, and the Falta Envido, for which I will tell you how to calculate points below. But first, let's review. In the score table, the first 15 points are called the bad ones. The second 15 points are called the good ones. This is important when counting the points you get when you win the Falta Envido. If we are in the bad ones and someone sings Falta Envido, whoever wins the Falta Envido will win the match. If we are in the good ones, the Falta Envido winner will get the points the winning player needs to complete 30 points, or 15 good ones. How's that? Let me explain. If Kami has 5 good ones and Fran has 8 good ones, Fran is winning. Therefore, the winner of the Falta Envido will get the 7 points that Fran is missing to win the match. Therefore, the winner of the Falta will get the 7 points Fran is missing to win the match. If Kami wins, she will now have 12 points. The 5 she has, plus the 7 Fran needs to win the match. If Fran wins, he wins the match. Since if we add up the 8 points he had, plus the 7 he just won, we add 30 points, or 15 good ones, which makes him the winner. And here I will give you a tip to use the Falta Envido strategically. If you're winning the game and you have 14 good ones or 29 points and you have two cards of the same suit, you can sing back Falta Envido, since if you win, you get the point you're missing to complete 30. But if you lose, your opponent only gets 1 point. It's in situations like this that great trick players show themselves. They know the rules and they make the most of them. Now let's go with the order of the words to sing. In this video, I will explain all the situations in which you can find yourself within the Envido. But in turn, I attach a PDF that you will be able to download to review. First of all, it's important to clarify that you can start with any of the 3 Envidos, and there is no established order as in the trick. The only order restriction that you have is that you cannot respond with a minor Envido. For example, if Kami sings Real Envido, you cannot respond with Envido. Because remember, the Envido is worth 2 points and the real Envido is worth 3 points. But the real Envido can be answered with a falta Envido. Now let's go to the examples. If Kami says Envido and Fran says I want, whoever wins this game gets 2 points. If Fran would have said I don't want to, Kami, who sang the Envido, gets 1 point. In case of Kami singing real Envido and Fran saying I want to, whoever wins this duel gets 3 points. If Fran would have said I don't want to, Kami, who sang, gets 1 point. Now, if Kami sings falta Envido and Fran says I want to, whoever wins this game will get the corresponding points for the falta Envido. We explained that a little while ago, so if you have any doubts, you can review the video or download the PDF with the notes. In case Fran does not want the falta Envido, Kami gets 1 point. Now let's see the examples where the bet is raised. In this case, it is important to clarify that the Envidos are added, except for the falta Envido, which is always calculated in the same way. For example, if Kami sings Envido and Fran responds with Envido, the winner gets 4 points. 2 for Kami's Envido and 2 for Fran's. Now, if Kami sings Envido and Fran responds Envido, but Kami answers I don't want to, Fran gets 2 points for Kami not wanting the Envido. If Kami sings Envido and Fran responds with a real Envido, the winner gets 5 points. 2 of the Envido plus 3 of the real Envido. In case Kami says I don't want, Fran gets 2 points. Kami's unwanted Envido and Fran's unwanted real Envido. You're already getting it, aren't you? And remember, if you learn how to play Trick well, with Truco stars, you will be able to generate income in dollars. So pay attention and move on, because we're going to get you good at this, and you're going to be able to generate income. Let's get back to the explanation. In case Kami sings Envido and Fran responds with a falta Envido, whoever wins will get the corresponding points for the falta Envido. If Kami says I don't want to, Fran gets 2 points. Now, if Kami sings real Envido and Fran answers with a falta Envido, whoever wins will get the corresponding points of the falta Envido. If Kami says I don't want to, Fran will get 3 points. If Kami sings Envido and Fran responds Envido and Kami now raises the bet with a real Envido, whoever wins the game will get 7 points. 2 for the first Envido, 2 for the second Envido, plus 3 for the real Envido. In case Fran says I don't want to, Kami gets 4 points. Now let's see the case if Kami says Envido and Fran responds with Envido and Kami redoubles the bet with a falta Envido, whoever wins will get the corresponding points for the falta Envido. In case Fran says I don't want to, now Kami gets 4 points. Now another example, if Kami says Envido and Fran responds with a real Envido and Kami raises the bet to a falta Envido, the winner will get the points corresponding to the falta Envido. In case Fran doesn't want to, Kami will get 5 points. Now for the last example, if Kami sings Envido and Fran replies with another Envido and Kami raises the bet to a real Envido, but Fran raises the bet to a falta Envido, the winner will get the points corresponding to the falta Envido. And if Kami says I don't want to, Fran gets 7 points. It is important to clarify that in case of a draw with the Envido points, for example if they both have 23 points, the duel will be won by whoever is hand. And this way, we end another lesson of Truco stars. Surely at this point, you're already in a rush to play the trick. But relax, there's only 2 chapters left. Don't hurry, we'll make you good. Goodbye for now, and see you in chapter number 5. Until next time.